Cooking Swiss Chard, Kale, and Beet Greens with Hovey's Knives. William Hovey Smith, 2016. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting and also the owner of a new company, Hovey's Knives of China, where we take ancient designs of Chinese knives and make modern cooking tools from them. And here we tackle 3 types of greens that as a southerner I had actually never eaten or cooked before.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And before me we have some leafy greens of a sort that I have never experienced before. We have kale, 2 varieties, left and right, and in the center, Swiss Chard. This is a very colorful leafy green. It is much valued as an ornamental as it is as an edible product. But edible, I am told it is, as are these. So we are going to whop up on these and cook them. Now, so far as the Swiss Chard is concerned, all these were grown here in central Georgia. This is somewhat unusual as all these are, we considered Yankee vegetables. What we eat down here are turnips, spinach, and collard greens. These are sort of different for us. So I'm going to cook these up and we're going to wash them and prepare them. Although this chard looks superficially clean, we went ahead and washed it, and good thing too, because we found about half a dozen insects on it. This is organically grown material, and so it had organics on it. Yeah, no question about it. So we're going to use some of our knives, and this is our caterer's friend, and separate these leaves just like we would destem any other leafy green. This one has been fairly well fed upon. There are some holes in it. The stems themselves have some taste. A little bit different than celery, a little more texture, a little more fiber than celery. It might be interesting stuff with some cheese. We'll save a few nice ones. So we're going to be about de-leafing these. Just like yay. And our little knife does this very, very nicely. Of course, our larger ones would too. Oh, yeah, this is a colorful one. Dice these bigger sections up. Yeah, this is going to be some interesting stuff, guys. Here is the Swiss Chard, and it's still even cooked a little bit colorful. One, except for the red and yellow pieces in it, might think it collards, I guess, or maybe a strange spinach. But in taste, you can see how it does. I did add a little salt to this, so in taste it a little stronger than spinach, a little not so strong as collard. I'd add a little pepper to this, but no, this is good. It's a good leafy green. Having now washed our kale, we're going to do exactly the same thing and recover the leaves and stems from it and proceed. Yes, like that. The kale is a bit tougher in both the leaves and the stems and is going to take longer cooking than the Swiss chard. We now have our pot of washed greens, and to that we're going to add a little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon. We're going to add some black pepper here. A little bit. And we're also going to add some good old-fashioned Southern hog barbecue here. So this is about, say, a scant half cup, I would guess. And that should give us a good little seasoning. And I'm going to cut up these two little small peppers, and these are very mild peppers, by the way, just to give it a little color. We had somewhat more kale than we had Swiss chard, so the yield was a little bit greater. And you can see the barbecue and a few of the little peppers there in this mix. Now I had put a little salt and pepper on it, as you saw, and as it turns out, this is quite good, and it has about the right amount of seasoning and just a tad of residual heat from both the seasoning in the barbecue, mostly I think, and also the pepper. But it's a good green. It chews well in the mouth, and I would say it doesn't taste as strong as collards, but stronger than spinach. It is definitely, even though it's cooked now and quite limp, it's definitely a little chewier than the chard was. But yeah, a good leafy vegetable. The last thing in our late winter harvest here are beets. And I have them here in this well, or this double well sink. And I have them soaking. And what I'm going to do here is cut these roots off, and then put the leaves in the other half of the sink and wash those and process them much as I did the others. Well, now that we're progressing from greens to greens with roots attached, we are going to proceed to peel our beets here and boil them, and we will enjoy those greatly. Some people are turned off by beets. I like my beets. So we're going to be working these up. Now a little paring knife here. Now these are real things, and they have been in the ground, and there are a few imperfections in it I'm going to have to dig out. But yeah, they're going to do good. Also slightly dehydrated, I think. A little tougher to peel than usual. Okay, one peeled, and we're going to slice it up. Need a stronger knife. There, take that. Nice thing about making knives, you always have one exactly for the work. Look, if you can't make knives, well, you buy a bunch of mine. Yeah? Well, you see here the bloody looking aftermath of my beet slicing. A lot of beets right here. Now, a lot of people don't like to fool with beets because they stain everything red, hands included. No big deal. Things clean, things wash. Most of this stuff is water soluble, so simple washing and scrubbing, and yeah, it comes off. So don't let that keep you from cooking a few fresh beets. They're worth the doing. We now have our beets, the last of our greens, cooked. And these actually look a little darker in color than the others. And of course they have the very distinctive red cooking water coming from them. This is derived mostly from the stems rather than the green leaves themselves. And let's see how we did. I did put a little salt and pepper on these, but nothing else. These actually taste a little bit closer to spinach, but not the same taste as spinach, but closer to that taste than either the kale or the Swiss chard. Now on the beets, I added a little vinegar to the water and also some salt and a little bit of butter, just a small pad. Now these are very good. I like the taste of vinegary beets. You may not, though you certainly don't have to add it. If you don't add it, they have a slight hint of sweet, but they do usually require a little salt. And I certainly did cook them long enough. They chew quite easily now, compared to them being quite hard to start with. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
This is my company, soon to be granted registered trademark, and here are some of our knives. And now, even more of our knives. At present, we have more than 20 designs of knives of Hovey's Knives of China. Now, I am the author of Backyard Deer Hunting and other books, including X-Treme Muzzleloading, Crossbow Hunting, Practical Bow Fishing, and a series of e-books on various aspects of hunting with muzzleloading guns. All of these, by the way, make just fine Christmas presents. For winter use, the kale and Swiss chard should be planted about 40 days before the expected first frost. For more information on my books, blogs, and nearly 575 videos, you can go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.